Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Nissan Armada. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Ken Garf Nissan here in Salt Lake City, Utah for me some time with this Armada. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Paul. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.6 liter V8 that goes through a 7-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 13 around town and then 18 on the highway with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 413 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see how it's raised there on either side, so it has a boxy look. And then notice that boxy design continues to the headlights and then also down to the fog light area. And then we've got the Nissan Chrome Smile is what I like to call it, but it still has the new Nissan logo. And then we do have parking sensors here at the bottom. And putting it all together, especially finished in this new Hermosa blue, I think it looks pretty cool. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 60, 20 in the front and over in the rear. You guys can see here with the wheels, you've got that silver mixed with the metallic gray, and then again you got the Nissan logo in the center. Got these body painted fender flares, and then look at the little trim piece there on the side. And you guys can see the fixed side step, and then we got more chrome here on the door handles, and then same thing with around the window trim. And then here is your full side view for the Armada. And then take a look at the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start. We got the opening for the hatch as well. And then popping into the rear, you guys can see first off, we got a 12 volt here in the back. And just like most SUVs in this segment, we don't have a massive amount of space behind the third row, but it's got a decent amount overall. Anyways, when you're all done, you can just press this button and that will lower the hatch right back down. Here's a look at the taillights, and you guys can see more chrome trim here again with the Armada badge. And then we got parking sensors here at the bottom. And putting it all together, what do you guys think about the looks here with this 24 Armada? Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see soft touch here and then also down below, and then like the wood trim they've added, and then it is soft touch even at that top portion. And then here are the seats in the Armada, perforated all down the center portion. Legroom here in the back's great. Got a little storage pocket, we got our own climate zone, and we can actually access the center console here from the back, which is a funny feature, I think. You got more wood trim in this center portion and tons of space in the center console. Nice padding here on the top, and then headroom back here, it's good. And then as for the third row, the floor is raised a bit, so your knees kind of get pushed up just a little bit. But despite that, I will say these seats are pretty comfortable back here, and then there's still a little bit of headroom. Now taking a look at the front door panel again, soft touch here and down below. Got all of our window controls, which all of them are automatic. Mirror adjustments, mirrors do power fold in, and then you get your memory seat function, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors as well. And then taking a look at the seat, you guys can see perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side, and then you can see Armada down below. And then we have this for the hatch, heated steering wheel, for the safety tech, and then notice to turn on or off the hatch with the power operation. And then more of that wood trim in the dash. Yeah, it looks like it's all soft touch, which is another nice feature. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around, and then we've got controls for our adaptive cruise control, voice command controls, volume controls, all of that. And then you can see turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. And then taking a look at the gauge cluster, analog on either side, and then we do have a screen where we can scroll through and see different bits of information here in the center on the vehicle. There's quite a bit with the menus, that's crazy. And then in reverse we do have a backup camera and, well, 360 camera. So trajectory lines turned with the steering wheel, resolution on it is solid for the most part. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, this isn't a touchscreen on the side whatsoever, it's just this portion. And you know, overall it responds quickly, it's easy to use. Got some physical buttons down below to help out as well. And then we've got our dual zone climate controls. We also have heated seats with this package, and I like how the Armada has this little area for the wireless phone charging pad under the tab. Always thought that's fun. And then nice wood trim. And then we do have trailer brake controls as well. And then you guys can see the USB ports. Shifter for that 7-speed automatic. And then we've got our drive line select here. It looks like we do have a 4-wheel drive low as well. It does have an advanced 4-wheel drive system because you've got an auto too. Then you got snow, tow mode, and then your stability control. And then analog control for the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen. And look at all this wood trim. I like that. And then with the center console, pretty big with the overall storage space. And then you can see the dash, more soft touch, more of that wood trim that kind of arcs around. And then, yeah, pretty big glove box. And then we do have a sunroof up front as well. Now here's our window sticker for the Armada. You guys can see all the standard equipment here and their base MSRP, and then after all options, $66,515. And long live the V8s. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors. Just do a blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And Armada away. So no firm confirmation on this, but somewhat firm confirmation. This will most likely be the last year that the Armada has a V8, and then there, that's funny on the windshield wiper. Anyways, it's gonna be so distracting. And then they're going to, it sounds like a twin turbo V6, maybe a hybrid with that too. I've noticed a very interesting shift. I want to kind of talk about this in this video. I've noticed a very interesting shift in terms of like public opinion away from V8s. And I think I understand why. And we'll kind of discuss that at the end of this video. But first off, love this engine so much. This 5.6 liter V8 is a marvelous engine. It's got great power. It sounds fantastic. And you know, I know some people complain about the 7-speed. Yeah, the 7-speed's not as good as the 9-speed that you have in the Titan, but you know, let the Subaru do what their Subaru's doing. That was not illegal at all. But you know, it gets the job done. It's good. It really is. It's a wonderful powertrain. I really appreciate it. And kind of get one more acceleration here. That torque's just so good. And the transmission, it's not as good as the 9-speed, but I think it does a pretty good job. So, to cap things off here with the V8 Armada, this is a great, reliable family SUV. I mean, it's not the most exciting, not the most modern, techie, all of that, but you can get hundreds of thousands of miles out of this, and I think that that is very appealing. You know, not everyone's about that, because you know, a lot of people, they just care about having the newest tech, they just care about all that stuff. But I think reliability is something that, in my opinion, is sexy. It's appealing, right? Not getting stuck places because your car's broken down. But in terms of the V8 thing, here's what I've noticed is when the electric fad over the course of the pandemic was like really big, like everyone in an electric car, people that were still into ICE cars didn't really care, because like they're like, I like ICE cars, I like big V8s, right? I like, they cared more about the power and the sound and all of that than the economy. But now that it seems like the general public is in consensus that they don't like electric cars for the most part, right? You see that people are just like, they don't want to deal with the range anxiety, they don't want to deal with the charging infrastructure, they don't want to deal with the lack of reliability of electric cars, they don't want to deal with the horrible resale value of electric cars, right? There's all these negatives that now they're going back into ICE cars, and they're like, you know what, I still want that efficiency, but I don't want it to be a fully electric. So I think that we're about to see like a huge boom. Actually, I need to get even closer. Who has anxiety? Okay, we're good. I think we're going to see a huge boom in hybrid vehicles over the next few years, because that's where the market's going. Is people still want these ICE cars, and they want big ICE cars, but they want them to be more efficient. So get ready for more turbo engines with hybrids and all that stuff. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this version of the Armada.